I've been gone for a little while. Maybe you didn't even notice, but it's been a while since I uploaded a video here. So I thought I would come back gradually with a vlog style April wrap up. I was all set to say I haven't read that much this month, but I've read 5 books, and that's not half shabby. So I'm gonna show you the books that I read. If you're wondering where I was feeling uninspired, and I felt like I didn't have enough to share with you. And my sister, whose camera I use, is away for about 2 weeks, and potentially a little longer. So that's where I've been. My focus has just been everywhere. I cannot concentrate in a single thing, but I've been working on other creative projects like this quilt, which you might recognize as my fandom t-shirts, which were getting too grubby to wear and too like full of holes, and they were misshapen and they didn't look good anymore. So instead of throwing them out, I decided to make this quilt that I could keep. And oh my goodness, I'm never making a quilt again. There is so much work in it, but I'm quite happy with how it turned out. Looks like I'm happy with it. Also been working on a Phantom of the Opera painting, which so far just has, you know, one face done. There's a lot of work still to do on that. Hopefully today I'll get more done. It's so sunny outside, it is a crime not to be outside right now. So at the end of this vlog type thing, I might go to the beach because I'm on an island and I might as well do that. To save me bringing all the books there and just filming there, I'm just going to tell you the books I read first. First book I finished in April was Obsidio by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. This book was quite enjoyable, a little slower paced than the predecessor books of Gemini and Illuminae, which were super fast paced science fiction. This was a little slower, and it was kind of wrapping everything back up, wrapping everything together. And while I really enjoyed it, I just didn't like it as much as the first 2 books. So a little disappointing, but still a really strong book, really good. A good end to the series. I think my expectations were just like way high. So that might have been it. The next book I finished was Odd and the Frost Giants by Neil Gaiman. This book is a children's book and it focuses on some Norse myths, and we got some Loki, we got some Thor and stuff like that. And at the start I was like so into it. I was like, oh, this is great. There's illustrations. It's amazing. And then for a while it kind of lost its way. And then it brought it back. This book is about a boy called Odd who one day a fox and a bear and an eagle show up, I think, and he follows them to like the realm of the gods or the frost giants, and he finds out who they are, and it's really interesting and quite entertaining and funny, but it's a bit out there, but I liked it. The next book I finished was also one that I found kind of slow at the beginning. That is The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black. This book, I love the idea. There's this elf boy who's like horns that come around to his ears, and he is asleep in a glass coffin in the middle of the forest, and I was like ready for this high fantasy like epic tale. And while it was still a really good story, it's based in contemporary times, which I shouldn't have been surprised about because that's kind of what Holly Black does, but it set a different tone than I was expecting, and it took me a while to be okay with it. It took me a while to get into it, but once I did, it was such a good ending. Oh my goodness, it like really turned it around. The story really picks up around the middle of the book, and it got so good. I wasn't expecting to enjoy it at the beginning, but like once it got halfway, I was there. I was ready for it. I was wishing I had this book when I was younger. It was so good. It was so good, and I'm glad I finished it. Next 2 books I read are graphic novels, and they are Wires and Nerve and Rogue Nation by Marissa Meyer. These are connected to the Lunar Chronicles. They are graphic novels that kind of follow Aiko after the events of the Lunar Chronicles. And while they were really good, and Marissa Meyer does such great characters, they're really funny, and she does these like moments between characters that are just so entertaining and really easy to like cheer on. But I found, like I always do with graphic novels, I don't know why I'm ever surprised, I found that I missed the narrative, which is obviously taken over by the pictures in a graphic novel. And while I love illustrations, I feel like graphic novels always miss that narration that I love. And I don't know if I'll be reading too many more graphic novels. These were great. They really were. They were good stories and I enjoyed them. But every time I read a graphic novel, I realize graphic novels just aren't my thing. Another book that I read that I haven't shown you yet, and I'm going to show you in a haul, but another book that I read that you haven't seen yet is The Melancholy Death of Oyster Boy and Other Stories by Tim Burton. This is a book of poetry that Tim Burton wrote. There's pictures in it, but man, it was out there. It was out there even for me. I was kind of expecting it to be weird and dark with like dark humor, but like, dude, like it was a bit like, some of them were quite funny and entertaining, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. And then 1 or 2 I was what was going through his mind when he was writing these stories? Like, how did these come to him? But anyway, I enjoyed it. It's definitely out there. And that brings us to the book that I'm currently reading, which is, get excited, Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. And this is, unfortunately, the book that has taken me the longest to read, not because I'm not enjoying it, because Laini Taylor is just amazing at writing, and this is a really enjoyable story, but because I've been so distracted this month with just everything, it's taken me a while to read this. So I was away for a few days and I got a decent chunk through, so now the story's kind of into it and I'm ready to just like embrace the story. So that's what I'm gonna do. So this is the book I'm going to bring to the beach, and we'll just see how the day goes. Hey guys, I'm not too sure how great the audio is gonna be out here because it's quite windy, but the beach is gorgeous today. It is so beautiful and sunny, and the water's even kind of warm, which if you don't live in Ireland, you might not be surprised at, but in Ireland the water's never warm, so it's kind of warm, and that's kind of amazing. Yeah, I've been here for about an hour and a half already. Haven't read anything, but I've been walking up and down the beach and it is beautiful. So I'm gonna start reading now. Probably won't update you too much more because I mean, I'm gonna be reading and that's about it. Starting to get quite cold at the beach now, so I'm gonna head back, but it has been a beautiful day at the beach. I didn't get read as much as I would have liked, but I got a bit read and I've enjoyed my day. Hope you've enjoyed coming with me on this April wrap up, and that's all I have for you for this video today. Bye!